It's a Tuesday evening. I'm sprawled on my couch, a bag of chips in one hand, my phone in the other, scrolling through memes I've already seen 3 times. The TV's humming in the background with a show I'm not even watching. Sounds cozy, right? Maybe a little too cozy. That's the comfort zone for you, a warm, fuzzy blanket we wrap ourselves in to avoid anything remotely hard. And trust me, I get it. Why wrestle with life's challenges when you can just not? But here's the thing, I've made it a mission to do something difficult every single day. Not because I'm a masochist, though my friends might argue otherwise, but because I've learned something over the years. Staying comfy all the time? It's a trap, a sneaky, seductive trap that feels good now, but screws you over later. In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 big reasons I've committed to this daily battle with my comfort zone. Stick around, and by the end, I bet you'll feel a little itch to try something tough yourself today. Ready? Let's jump in. The comfort zone, your cozy cage. Imagine a circle. Not just any circle, your circle. This is where most of us live, the comfort zone. It's that sweet spot where life feels predictable, safe, and easy. You know the drill. Wake up, stumble through your routine. Maybe a job where you clock in, do the bare minimum, and clock out. Then come home, doom scroll on your phone for a dopamine hit, and crash. Weekends? Same old crew, same old spots, same old chats. Your opinions? They haven't budged since 2015. It's the path of least resistance, and oh boy, does it feel good. We've all got our version of this circle. For me, it used to be avoiding public speaking like it was the plague. I'd rather hide in my room, binge watching sitcoms than stand in front of 5 people and say, "Hi, I'm Alex." That was my comfort zone. Solitude, snacks, and 0 risk. And honestly, at first glance, what's wrong with that? Why would any sane person voluntarily sign up for stress when Netflix exists? But here's the dirty secret about the comfort zone. It's not just a cozy nook, it's a cage. Sure, it keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. When you stick to the same old, you don't just stay where you are, you start sliding backward. That circle, it doesn't stay the same size, it shrinks. The stuff you used to handle with ease starts feeling shaky, even scary. Take my buddy Jake, he's the king of "I'll do it tomorrow." A few years back, he was decent at chatting up strangers, nothing wild, just small talk at a coffee shop. But then he stopped. Work got busy, he leaned hard into his introvert side. And now? The idea of asking a barista for an extra shot of espresso makes him sweat bullets. His comfort zone didn't just hold him steady, it tightened its grip. What was once a "meh, I can do this," became a "nope, not happening." That's the atrophy of comfort. Like a muscle you stop using, your ability to handle life's curveballs weakens. That's reason number 1 I fight my comfort zone daily. I don't want to stagnate, or worse, regress. I refuse to let the things I'm okay with today turn into monsters tomorrow. Because here's the truth, comfort might feel like a friend, but it's a lousy one. It'll ditch you the second things get real. The growth zone, where the magic and mess happens. Now, let's step outside that shrinking circle. Beyond the comfort zone lies what I call the growth zone. Spoiler alert, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, it's where you fumble, sweat, and occasionally feel like a total clown. But it's also where the good stuff, the real stuff, happens. Think about it. You don't get stronger at the gym by lifting the same puny dumbbell every session. You don't master Spanish by reciting "hola" on repeat. Progress demands more. It demands you push past what's easy and wrestle with what's hard. For me, that meant signing up for a local improv class last year. Me, the guy who'd rather eat glass than speak off the cuff. First session? Disaster. I froze mid-scene, stammered through a joke about a talking dog, and left feeling like I'd embarrassed humanity itself. But I went back. And by week 3, I was riffing with strangers and laughing at my own flops. Was it uncomfortable? Oh, hell yes. Did I grow? You bet. Here's the kicker. Anything worth having, confidence, skills, resilience, lives on the other side of that struggle. It's not supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would do it. The growth zone is where you trade short-term pain for long-term gain. Studying late feels like pulling teeth, but it sharpens your mind. Skipping that third slice of pizza sucks, but it keeps you fit. Saying no to a splurge hurts, but it builds your savings. That's reason number 2. I chase the hard stuff daily. I'm playing the long game. I'd rather feel dumb now and smart later than coast today and crash tomorrow. But here's the catch. We don't all have one universal comfort zone. It's more like a patchwork quilt. Maybe you're crushing it at work, pushing deadlines and pitching ideas, but your social life's a ghost town. Or you're a gym beast, but your creativity's collecting dust. Me! I was acing solitude, but flailing at connection. The trick is figuring out which zones need a nudge. You don't have to overhaul everything, just pick one spot where you're stuck and want to grow. Got it in mind? Good. Let's talk about how to break out. 3 ways to escape without losing your mind. So, how do you go from, I'm fine here, to, whoa, I'm actually doing this? I've got 3 ways to ease into the growth zone without face planting. They're simple, but don't mistake simple for easy. They'll still stretch you. First up, consistency. Do it more often. Say you're trying to get into running, but right now you're a once a month, if the weather's nice, kind of runner. Bump it to twice a week. Doesn't sound sexy, but that extra day builds the habit. It's like watering a plant. Steady drips beat a random flood. For me, consistency was writing. I used to scribble thoughts whenever inspiration struck, aka never. Now I jot 200 words daily. Some days it's garbage, but it's my garbage, and it's piling up into something real. Second, intensity. Crank up the heat. Don't just do more, do harder. If you're running, swap the flat trail for a hill. If you're learning guitar, tackle a song that makes your fingers cry. I tried this with cooking. I was a boxed mac and cheese wizard, but I decided to make a risotto from scratch. First attempt, a gluey mess. Second, edible. Third, damn tasty. Intensity shakes things up. It's uncomfortable, sure, but it's also where breakthroughs hide. Third, duration. Stick with it longer. If you meditate for 5 minutes, try 10. If you read for 15, push to 20. Small stretches build grit. When I started biking, I'd tap out at 10 minutes, wheezing like an old accordion. I added 5 minutes each week. Now, 30 minutes, no sweat, well, less sweat. Duration teaches you to endure, and that's gold. Pick one of these, consistency, intensity, or duration, and run with it. Don't try all 3 at once unless you're a superhero, and if you are, call me. Start small. If you're learning French, add 5 minutes to your study sesh. If you're shy, say hi to one new person this week. The point? Nudge yourself into growth without snapping, but a quick heads up, not all discomfort is created equal. Quitting coffee cold turkey might suck, but it's not the same as, say, training for a marathon. Focus on challenges with a payoff, stuff that builds you up, not breaks you down. That's the sweet spot. The danger zone, too much, too fast. Okay, So if pushing yourself is so great, why isn't everyone doing it? Well, there's a third zone past growth, the danger zone. Think of it like this. You're climbing a hill, feeling the burn, making progress. Then you sprint too hard and tumble off a cliff. That's the danger zone, where you overdo it and crash. I've been there. A couple years ago, I decided to fix my life overnight. I'd work out daily, cut all carbs, meditate an hour, and read 50 pages before bed. Week 1, I was a rock star. Week 2, I was a zombie, exhausted, cranky, and back to square one, drowning in pizza and self-pity. Sound familiar? We've all bitten off more than we can chew, then swore off change forever when it didn't stick. That's the trap. Push too far, too fast, and you don't just fail, you convince yourself you can't succeed. My friend Sarah did this with painting. She went from 0 to I'll finish a masterpiece in a month. Burnout hit, the canvas sat blank, and now she thinks she's just not artsy. The danger zone doesn't just set you back, it messes with your head. So how do you dodge it? Baby steps. If you've never run, don't aim for a 5K tomorrow. Start with a jog around the block. Can't stick to that. How can you nail something bigger? Gradual wins build momentum. Each tiny victory, 5 push-ups, a page of a book, proves you're not a lost cause. That proof? It's rocket fuel. Success snowballs, spilling into other parts of your life. That's reason number 3 I do this daily. One small win sparks a chain reaction. Suddenly, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Balancing act. Push, rest, repeat. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not out here grinding 24/7. When I say something difficult every day, I'm not revamping my whole existence daily. I might tackle public speaking while chilling on my diet, or push my writing but coast at the gym. Rest matters. Without it, you're a burnout waiting to happen. Here's how I see it. Your comfort zone's like a rubber band. Stretch it a bit. Say, by calling a friend you've ghosted, and it expands. Keep stretching too hard, and snap. Instead, ease off after a push. Let the new normal settle. Maybe now calling that friend feels okay, not terrifying. Once it's comfy, stretch again. Host a dinner maybe. Push, rest, push, rest. It's a rhythm, not a race. Think of the comfort zone as a pit stop, not a permanent address. Dip in to recharge, but don't unpack your bags. Over time, that circle grows with you, bigger, bolder, braver. The day I almost quit and why I didn't. Let me tell you about the time I nearly threw in the towel on this whole do something difficult thing. It was a rainy Thursday, 6 months into my daily push routine, and I'd decided to learn photography, something I'd always admired but never touched. I'd been consistent, snapping pics of my dog or the soggy street outside, but that day I ventured out to a bustling park, camera in hand, feeling like a fraud among the real photographers with their fancy lenses. My shots, blurry disasters. A kid even laughed at me fumbling with the settings. I trudged home, soaked and defeated, ready to chuck the camera into a drawer and retreat to my comfort zone forever. But as I sat there, dripping on my couch, I remembered something my mum used to say. You don't grow when you're winning, you grow when you're losing, and you keep showing up anyway. So I dried off, watched a YouTube tutorial instead of Netflix, and went back the next day. The photos still sucked, but they sucked less. A week later, I caught a duck mid-waddle, crisp, golden, mine. That moment flipped a switch. It wasn't about the perfect shot. It was about proving to myself I could stumble and not stay down. That's the secret source of the growth zone. It's messy, it's humbling, and sometimes it's downright embarrassing, but it's yours. Every flop is a brick in the foundation of who you're becoming. I could have quit that day, and my comfort zone would have welcomed me back with open arms, dry, safe and unchanged. But I'd have missed the duck, the pride, the proof I could stretch beyond what I thought possible. So when you're teetering on the edge of giving up, whether it's a new skill, a tough talk, or just getting out of bed, remember, the magic isn't in the win, it's in the fight. You don't have to leap out of your circle, just nudge it a little wider. That's how you build a life bigger than yesterday, one soggy, stubborn step at a time. Your turn, one step. Today, so here's my pitch, don't let comfort cage you. You don't need to summit Everest or rewrite your life by midnight. Just do one thing today that tweaks your nose at easy. Lace up those sneakers and walk a block. Text someone you've been meaning to. Crack open a book instead of your phone. Small? Sure. Pointless? Never. Because here's the real tea. If you don't test your limits, you'll never know what you're made of. The people who shine, the ones who inspire us, they're not fearless. They're just willing to feel the fear, trip over it and keep going. I'm no exception. I still cringe before a tough conversation or a heavy deadlift, but I do it anyway. And every time, I'm better for it. So what's your difficult today? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to cheer you on. And if this hit home, smash that like button and subscribe. Let's keep pushing together. You've got this.